let's take a look at that house one more time. Hey everyone, welcome to Minneapolis Living. I'm Nick Sundahl with Aikta Homes of Keller Williams Classic Realty Northwest. Before we get to what that final walkthrough looks like on your new purchase, I would love it if you hit the subscribe button. While you're there, ring the little bell next to it so you're alerted every time I upload a new video on Tuesdays and Fridays. Hey, congratulations, you're about to move into your brand new house. But first, we have a final walkthrough. My recommendation is you go at least 1 day in advance. Going the day of your closing is not recommended, and here's why. If there's an issue with the home, say for example, they didn't finish, or the sellers didn't finish the required repairs that were per the purchase agreement. If they didn't do all the repairs, what can you really do prior to closing in terms of time and getting an agreement done? So I highly recommend you go a day in advance. It can be the evening before so that you can get a list of any items that may need to be done or finished prior to that happening. So what to look for in that final walkthrough? Well, one, we want to make sure that there isn't any damage while the sellers were moving out of the house. Now, if they haven't finished moving out of the house, this is one of those things you're just going to have to trust is going to be done properly. That being said, they didn't throw any parties, they didn't just let it go into disrepair. If it was a vacant property, sometimes life happens. Kids are rambunctious and they can blow through walls, but ultimately you want to make sure that nothing really has been changed from when you originally saw it and wrote the purchase agreement, and more specifically during the inspection process. Second thing to look for, appliances and fixtures. Sometimes there are sellers that will switch out high-end appliances, their high-end appliances with lower end. We want to make sure all the same appliances were there prior or during the inspection period. We also want to make sure that they haven't switched out any lighting. That can be a big issue as well. They can go for cheaper options and put in and take the more expensive ones with them. So when you purchase a home, everything that comes with it includes appliances, includes fixtures. It also includes window treatments here in the Twin Cities. So if they had rods and curtains on the home when you looked at it, but they're no longer there, that can be an issue because that can get very expensive if you have to go buy it on your own. And the last thing you want to do is walk the property itself on the exterior of the home and around the yard. Here in Minnesota, especially right now, you could have purchased a few weeks ago with 6, 7, 8 inches of snow on the ground, and right now we have almost none. And so the difference between looking at a yard with no snow versus 6 or 8 inches of snow is quite different. Now, there's really very little you can do in terms of discovery in going back to the sellers if there's something that you don't like, but it's always a good idea to know what you're getting yourself into once you sign on the dotted line. When we finish that final walkthrough, we lock up the house. We take that lockbox with us along with the key, and that next day, guess what? You're signing papers and getting your brand new house. So hopefully there aren't any snags when it comes to the final walkthrough, and there's no issues in terms of getting any additional fixes done or maybe new appliances, God forbid. Ultimately, final walkthroughs are usually a formality, and very rarely do you run into problems. However, they do happen, so it is an important thing, mostly just for peace of mind. So if you have any questions about final walkthroughs, purchasing a home, or having to sell your house before you purchase, please reach out. You can call, text, email, slide into my DMs if you like. Honestly, I would love to speak with you. This is Minneapolis Living. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.